Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So as you can tell from the title of today's video, today is going to be another little kind of spring summer makeup tutorial. I know I recently just did one of these on my channel, but because I feel like here in the UK the lockdown is shortly being lifted in literally a matter of days now, I feel like we're all going to start hopefully being able to enjoy going out a little bit more, and we're probably going to be wearing a little bit more makeup. So I just thought, why not film another little kind of spring summer makeup tutorial. I've got some kind of new products here that I wanted to show you as well. So this video is in collaboration with SHEGLAM, which in case you didn't already know, SHEGLAM is a super affordable kind of makeup brand. It's quite new, it hasn't really been out for that long, but the products are actually amazing. I am actually quite shocked at how much I like the products from SHEGLAM considering the price point. The price point is lower than a lot of drugstore brands that you would find, but honestly some of the products that I've tried are insane. So they just launched a Spring It On collection, which as the name would suggest is their spring collection. So that is kind of what I'm going to be using in today's video as well. So thank you so much for SHEGLAM for sponsoring this video. I just wanted to quickly say a huge thank you as well to everyone who massively supported me during the launch of mine and my mum's new jewellery brand, which launched 2 days ago now. We received so much love and support, and thank you so much to those of you who checked out the website or even ordered anything. We are so grateful for all of the support. So if you did miss it, I will leave the link to my jewellery brand in the description. Obviously all of the jewellery that I'm wearing now is from Vinks of London, which is mine and my mum's brand, which is now live and ready for you guys to buy. So I will leave the link in the description, and yeah, thank you all so much to those of you who did support us. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get on into the actual makeup tutorial. So for foundation, I'm going to be using one I haven't used in a really long time, but this is one of my favourite kind of spring summer foundations, and this is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Luminous Makeup Nude Skin Feel foundation. I have this foundation in the shade Porcelain 1, and as you can see it really kind of matches me quite well. It's a little bit more yellow than my kind of usual skin tone, but I feel like as a whole that kind of matches my skin tone really well. It doesn't leave me with like a neck that's a different colour to my actual face. The coverage of this as well is really nice because it's kind of a medium, I would say light to medium coverage, which is super nice for spring and summer, because I don't know about anyone else, but I never like to wear anything sort of too heavy during the spring and summer. So what is everyone's plans for when lockdown ends? Is everyone going to go out, or are you guys still skeptical about the virus? I think that I am definitely going to go out because I feel like we have been locked away and not doing things for way too long now, and I feel like I'm starting to really miss normal life. However, I do think that I am still very skeptical, and I am going to, you know, be careful and go out within reason. So I just zoomed you in a tad, but that is what basically the foundation looks like all applied. So as you can see, it's quite glowy, which is again something that I love in the spring and summer. So now moving on to a little bit of concealer. I have really started to love again my NARS creamy concealer. This is such an oldie but a goodie. I don't know what it is, but I've recently kind of like rediscovered this, and I've been really liking using it under my eyes. I find with this concealer that it doesn't really crease that easy under my eyes. All of my other concealers seem to be really creasing on me at the moment, whereas this one is kind of the one that I found that doesn't really crease that much on me at all. That's why I've really been enjoying using it. My bags are quite bad at the moment as well, so I am using quite a lot of concealer just to try and sort of cover them. And then yeah, I'm just going to tap this in with my sponge. I always feel like the base, like the foundation and the concealer, is like really boring to watch. What do you guys think? Should I just like cut that bit out usually and then just start off like, you know, with the complexion products, or do you guys like seeing the foundation and concealer? Let me know. Okay, so now I'm gonna cream bronze. I want this video to be kind of like all of the products that I use are kind of cream, because I feel like that's what I use in the spring and summer, and that's what I've been loving using at the moment. I feel like it's super easy to look a little bit more natural, a little bit more blended. I've recently been loving this as well for cream bronzer. So this again is an oldie but a goodie. I feel like everyone used to use this back in the day on YouTube and Instagram. But anyway, this is the LA Girl Pro Concealer High Definition Concealer in the shade. So I have the shade Almond. And this works really well as a kind of cream bronzer for me. So I'm just going to apply that in the kind of usual areas that I bronze. So it's just above kind of where the hollow of my cheek is, and then I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this down my nose as well. Okay, so this is why I don't usually nose contour, because what is that please? And then I'm just going to put a tiny bit around my forehead, and then I've really been loving just sort of putting a little bit under my lip, just kind of like that. That's probably a little bit, oh, too much. But I feel like when you do this and then you blend it out, it makes your bottom lip look a little bit bigger. And my bottom lip is actually slightly smaller than my top lip, which is something that I don't really like. So that little trick kind of helps balance out my lips. I'm going to take this crusty brush that I need to wash. This is well overdue needing a wash bar. We all know what I'm like with washing my brushes. This is the angled contour brush from Look Good Feel Better. This was gifted to me and I've really been enjoying using it for cream bronzer and cream blusher. It's just a really good kind of dense brush. Yeah, it just helps to blend out the product really easily. As you can see, I've put on way too much as per usual, but as you can see, that concealer, because it is a concealer, it just blends so much easier. So I'm going to kind of halfway blend it, or blend it like 70%, and then I'm going to go back in with the foundation brush that I use and just kind of blend around the edges. And then for my nose, I like to kind of turn the brush over and then I just kind of run it down. I don't always nose contour. I'm really not that great at it, if I'm honest, but when I do decide to do it, this is how I blend it. Okay, so I just went ahead and blended the rest of that bronzer off camera, and now for the start of the show. So these two products next I'm going to use are part of the SHEGLAM Spring It On collection, and I have been using them in a few videos over on my Instagram, so you might have already seen these, but these are the SHEGLAM Spring It On blusher and highlighter. So I'll talk about the blush first. So this is the cream to powder blush in the shade Flash Mauve. As the name would suggest, this is a cream blush and it comes in this beautiful kind of light pink packaging. It's like a squeezy tube. And then we have the liquid highlighter in the shade Fancy Fizz, which again, this comes in this kind of squeezy little tube. I have been absolutely obsessed with these two products. They honestly just work so well. So I'm going to take the blush first and use that. I am just going to squeeze it out on the back of my hand, and this is really pigmented, so you really don't need a lot. I'm literally just going to use a tiny little kind of pea-size amount. To apply, I'm going to be using my It Cosmetics foundation brush, and I'm just going to literally put this on the kind of tops of my cheeks. As you can see, the pigment is crazy. You get a lot of pigment out of this, and I'm just going to be focusing this a little bit higher because I like my blush to kind of help lift my face. And as you can see, it just blends really, really easy and quickly. I've been also really enjoying taking my blush a little bit up, sort of like on the top of my brows, near my temples. I just feel like it ties everything in together and looks really kind of youthful. And yeah, so that is the blush applied a little bit more close up. I personally find that it stays quite glowy, so I don't really know where the cream to powder bit comes from, because for me it doesn't really go into a powder, it kind of stays a little bit more glowy. But I personally really like that, because you could easily just use this and then you're good to go. You don't even need to go in with a highlighter, especially if you're not a highlighter person. This gives you enough kind of glow as it is, but obviously I am going to use a highlighter as well. For the highlighter, I like to just tap it in with my finger because I find that you just get much more control than you would with a brush. And this is kind of like a goldy champagne coloured highlighter, so as you can see, just gives you a really beautiful kind of glow. I actually find as well that this particular formula of highlighter blends into the skin so quickly. So I don't know if you guys have ever used the iconic London highlighter drops, which are really sort of famous and they are really great. I find with them, they're so kind of slippery that they almost just slip and slide, and they take a little bit longer to blend in and get to the pigment that you want. Whereas I feel like this is just the perfect consistency for you to be able to just tap it in. It stays where you want it, it doesn't slip around too much, and it just looks really beautiful and kind of lit from within. So I'm obsessed with that. I'm just going to put it on the other side, of course. Okay, so now for a little bit of powder. I'm actually going to be using a new powder which was kind of gifted to me by Laura Mercier. So this is the Secret Brightening Powder for under eyes, and I have this in the shade 1. So I'm just going to be kind of pressing this under my eyes because I always need to powder under my eyes because, as I mentioned, I do get quite bad creasing under my eyes. This powder is probably one of the most finely milled powders I have ever used. It does have a little bit of a kind of sheen to it. It's not like a shimmer, it is just like a sheen. So if you don't like that and you like more just like matte powders, then you probably wouldn't like this. But I personally really like it, because if you are doing a little bit more of a glowy look like I am today, and you just want to powder certain areas just to keep them in place longer, then it doesn't make your face look too sort of matte in those areas and then shiny everywhere else, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of placing the powder in all of the areas that I didn't put any like cream bronzer, cream blush, cream highlighter. Okay, I just quickly did my brows off camera and now I'm going to move on to my eyeshadow. So I actually had a video that I posted on my Instagram that went a little bit viral, and it was just a super easy eye look of a smoky liner. So I started out with a black liner and then kind of made it into like a purple smoky liner. Today I wanted to kind of recreate that but with pink. So I'm going to be sort of recreating my viral video eye look into a kind of different colourway, because yeah, clearly people like smoky liners at the moment, and it's just super easy, super quick, and I feel like it will look really good with hot pink. So I do have the palette that I want to use here. So again, obviously this is from SHEGLAM and this is the Spring It On palette in the shade, oh, this is the Bloom palette. So this is what the palette looks like. As you can see, it's got some beautiful kind of pink and purpley tones right up my street. So yeah, I want to use some of the pink tones today to kind of recreate my little viral video. First things first, I'm going to start out with my Black Sensei eyeliner. This is a liquid eyeliner. I'm just going to create a kind of little wing with this. And you can literally make this wing as long or as short or as thick and as thin as you like, but I would recommend starting off a little bit thinner because you are going to smoke it out. So if you make it too thick to start off with, by the time you've smoked it out, it's going to be across your whole eyeball, if that makes sense. And honestly, when you first put it on, it really doesn't have to be perfect because you are going to smoke it out anyway. So the next step after you've got on your base wing is to take a black pencil or cream gel liner. This one is from SHEGLAM. This isn't part of their Spring On collection, but I absolutely love this eyeliner. This is actually the one that I did use in that video. This is the Expert Creamy Eyeliner in the shade Black, and this just works really well for this kind of job. So I'm going to basically scribble this on kind of over the top of what we've already done. Again, it doesn't have to be neat because you are going to be blending it out. And then I'm just going to take this little brush. This is from Morphe. This is the M431. And I'm just going to smoke this out basically. And I am just kind of bringing it here a little bit. So I didn't actually put any product there before, but I'm just kind of smoking it there so that it all blends in really nicely. And you want to be a little bit careful to not blend out too much over where like the end of the sharp point of the wing is, because then you're going to end up with like a stump. Okay, so now we are all kind of smoked out. It still doesn't need to be neat at this point, by the way. I'm going to go in with a small brush still, but this one is kind of like a flat brush, but it's quite short and dense. This is actually from the Morphe Jeffree Star collection, and this is the JS10 brush. This is the exact brush that I used in my viral video. I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is kind of not really hot pink, but it also isn't kind of too sort of pale. It is going to stand out. So this is called Spill the Tea, and I'm going to go in with that shade. I'm going to take a little bit on my brush and I'm basically just going to start by packing it kind of over that edge of where we've already blended it. So it's going to look kind of messy at first, but that's absolutely fine because it's nothing that a little bit of blending can't fix. And as you can see, I'm kind of bringing it now, this shade, all the way in to the inner corner, just so that it looks nice and connected and it goes from dark to sort of lighter. So now you're at this point where it kind of looks a little bit messy and a little bit unblended. First of all, I'm going to focus on the section here between the colour and the black. So I'm just going to kind of take that sort of smudgy brush that we were using before, and I'm just going to kind of mesh those two together. And then just taking a kind of smaller, clean brush, I'm just basically going to go over and blend the edges of this pink shade. Try not to blend it too high, but you do want to blend it so that there's no kind of edges or anything like that. And if it does go a little bit patchy like mine's done here, then I'm just going to pack over some more pink and kind of let's start again. Okay, so at this point I'm just going to take a little flat brush. This has got a little bit of concealer left over from yesterday, and I'm just basically going to very sort of lightly clean up that wing. As you can see, it's gone a little bit messy there, so I'm barely putting any pressure down at all, and I'm just going to kind of sweep that up and then just kind of blend that with my finger, and then that way it looks nice and neat and sharp. Okay, so now I'm just going to curl my eyelashes with my Surratt eyelash curlers. And I'm going to use some Benefit. This is the new They're Real Magnet Mascara to pop on my lashes. I've been really enjoying using this mascara actually. I feel like it is really good. I don't know if it's worth the price tag just because this is obviously a high-end mascara, but it does really do the job with making your lashes look nice and volumized, which I like. For lashes, I'm going to be using these ones by Lily Lashes. These I've actually cut in half so I can use as a little bit of a corner lash. I think doing this with your eyelashes looks a little bit better, especially if you've got like a wing or something like that, because it really kind of pulls your eyes out. So I'm just going to be popping these on. Okay, so just pop the lashes on off camera. As you can see, it just really helps to kind of give the eye a little bit of a lift. I'm now going to go in with my SHEGLAM Spring It On Collection gloss in the shade VIP Peach. This is a really nice kind of dark and nude lip gloss with a tiny bit of shimmer in it. Okay guys, so that is the completed finished spring kind of going out appropriate makeup look. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. So yeah, once again, thank you so much to SHEGLAM for sponsoring today's video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe before you leave, that would be amazing. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!